welcome to this week's Weekly Gumball, the place where I ask you to come without expectations, so that way I don't have to meet any. I'm just kidding. Really, welcome to 5 minutes of your life you will never get back. Now, this week's interview was a religious experience, to say the least. I recently traveled to Italy to visit one of my old college buddies, Joe, and well, let me tell you, since graduating from college, Joe has got a fancy government job, a company car, and some company digs, and let me tell you, Joe thinks he is quite the all-star. And I recently got to spend some time with Joe, so I figured why not show some of the pictures to you, because we had such a great time. Let us take a few moments to pontificate, if you will, my wonderful moments with Joe. Now, for some reason, Joe always insists on meeting me at the airport with a great welcome, some fanfare, and a great big hello, how do you do? I love that about Joe. Well, while in Rome, Joe took me to one Halloween party that he was invited to, and let me tell you, it was off the hook. Now, having come to Rome with really no plans to go to a party, Joe hooked me up with a costume, so I went as the devil, and Joe went as Woody from Toy Story. We were quite popular with photographers. They must really like Toy Story in Italy. We had quite the time. Joe was all raising the roof, and everybody loved him. When it was time to go home, we ran into some problem. We were rocking in Joe's Pimpmobile when we were stopped by the police. I was all, pull over, and Joe was like, we cannot run them, we have the face. He punched it, and they caught us. They caught us. Joe must have some clout, though, with the locals, because they let us go with a warning. In fact, they were asking him for forgiveness. On the last day I was with Joe, I went with him to a local shopping mall where apparently he plays Santa for the holidays. Man, no matter where Joe goes, people can't get enough of him. Maybe I want a government job. I'm not going to hell for that, am I? Well, this week I thought I would start off your holiday season with some stress-free tips for a better living. And let me tell you, I would take my advice. Really? I know what I'm talking about. First off, old telephone books. They make ideal personal address books. All you have to do is cross out the names of the people that you don't know. Next, this one is simple for all of you laundry doers. And who doesn't do laundry? Before attempting to remove stubborn stains from anything, always circle the stain with permanent ink so after you wash it, you know exactly where the stain was and if it came out. Next, this is probably the best one ever, so pay attention for all of you diet lovers. Losing weight quickly could be as easy as pie by eating raw pork and rancid tuna. I found that subsequent food poisoning helped me lose 12 pounds in 2 days. Great for the holidays. And this tip is for all of you Olympic athletes out there. Conceal the fact that you've been taking performance-enhancing drugs by simply running a little slower and coming in last. For more useful tips and tricks for your holiday stress-free living, check out our website, CrosStarMedia.com. Now it's time for that little ditty in the show that I like to call Freeze Frame. All of this week's photos were actually submitted by you, and let me tell you, you are a bunch of twisted freaks. Me like it. Our first photo today is courtesy of anabolic steroids, speaking of athletes, bringing new meaning to the phrase, go big or go home. Man, that is a lot of bulging. You know, you'd think some things would be self-explanatory, but as we have discovered, common sense is not something you can buy at one of our nation's largest retailers, so not everybody has it. Dude, you're driving a Hyundai, not American? What did you pay for it in South Korean Jeon? Now, I have seen some listeria-ridden cantaloupe with more intelligence, but hey, everyone deserves their chance for love. He's still scratching his... well, he's still scratching, wondering why nobody's calling. Oh, wow. Yeah, I got nothing. I know. Goodbyes are hard, but that about does it for this week's Gumball. If you have a picture, a video, or some content you would like to see on a future Gumball, be sure to send it to us at CrosStarMedia.com. The links are always available down in my pants. I was being sentimental the other day, believe it or not, and I was sorting through some of my childhood pictures, and I came across a picture of me and my most favorite cherished babysitter of all times from growing up. And so I will leave you with this last dose of my evolutionary wonder, proving my theory that duct tape is always the answer.